You know, in the world of venture capital, there's one thing everyone is chasing: alpha. But what if the secret to outperforming the market isn't about being bigger, but actually smaller? Today, we're diving into the big ideas from the book Unlocking Alpha: The Rise of Niche VC by Simon Lancaster and Sabrina Passaman. So let's just start with the big question, right? In a world that is just flooded with startups, how on earth do investors find those real gems? You know, the companies that are going to deliver those massive returns. When everyone's chasing the exact same trends, it starts to feel a lot less like investing and a whole lot more like gambling. And to really get the solution here, we first have to appreciate the problem itself, which is the crowded and frankly chaotic world of modern venture capital. I mean, the modern venture landscape is just chaotic. It's so noisy. It's driven by hype and this incredibly powerful fear of missing out. Yep, FOMO. And what that does is it pushes all these generalist investors to pile into the same trendy deals. That leads to crazy valuations and really short-term thinking. Basically, they're investing in the noise, not the actual fundamentals. And this right here is what everyone is chasing: alpha. It's pretty simple, really. It just means your investment returns are beating the market average. It's the ultimate measure of success. It's the proof that your strategy actually works. But in that crowded, hype-driven world we just talked about, generating real alpha feels next to impossible. So how do you do it? How do you find that alpha in all that noise? Well, the answer isn't to just get louder. It's to get way more focused. The key isn't about going broad. It's about going incredibly, incredibly deep into one specific niche. The book's core argument is this, plain and simple: the next wave of venture success is niche. Now, that is a bold claim. It completely cuts against the old school wisdom that the bigger generalist funds have all the advantages. And it really comes down to this: you've got to stop trying to be everything to everyone. The path forward is deep, deep specialization in these overlooked corners of the market. And listen, this isn't just presented as another option. The authors argue this is the defining strategy for the entire next decade of venture capital. Okay, but why does this actually work? Why does going narrow beat going broad? Let's get into the mechanics of it, because there's a real reason why these niche funds consistently seem to come out on top. And when you put them side by side, the contrast is just stark. A generalist VC makes broad bets on whatever's hot at the moment. But a niche VC, they use focused expertise to find undervalued assets that everyone else is missing. Their network isn't wide and shallow, it's deep and super concentrated in one area. The generalist's biggest challenge is just surviving the hype cycles, while the niche investor's challenge is achieving true deep mastery. And look, this isn't just a fun theory. It's actually backed up by data. History shows a really clear pattern here. Focused, specialized funds have a consistent track record of outperforming their generalized peers. It's not a fluke. This focus gives you a powerful competitive edge. I mean, it makes sense, right? Deeper expertise leads to smarter decisions. You build a much more relevant network. And the result, you can spot these high-potential startups way before they're on everyone else's radar, which means you get to completely sidestep those overpriced, hype-driven bidding wars. So this all sounds pretty great in theory, but how do you actually do it? Well, the book lays out a really practical framework, a blueprint, really, for putting this whole strategy into action. It all boils down to these 3 key steps. First, you have to master a domain. And I don't mean just learn about it. I mean achieve deep, focused, real knowledge. Second, build a focused network: founders, experts, customers, all within that specific sector. And third, you apply a rigorous investment discipline. You use your expertise to evaluate opportunities based on their merits, not on the hype swirling around them. And this message is really starting to resonate. This isn't just some novel idea anymore. It's being called a must-read for the next decade of VC. You can really think of this as the playbook for where the entire industry is headed. So, what does this all mean for the future? Well, it means the game is changing. The future of venture capital, and honestly, maybe investing in general, is becoming highly, highly specialized. And this wisdom, it applies pretty much across the board. If you're an aspiring fund manager, this is your roadmap. If you're an LP investing in funds, this is your guide to finding the real talent. And if you're a founder, it's about seeking out investors who offer way more than just cash. They offer that deep, invaluable expertise. This matters to everyone building the future. And this is especially true right now. We're in an era that is completely saturated with AI hype and just massive amounts of data. Specialization is one of the only ways to truly cut through all that noise. It's that human element of deep expertise that an AI just can't replicate. So, I'm going to leave you with this final thought. As you look at your own industry, your own area of expertise, ask yourself this: what is the overlooked niche that everyone else is missing? Because according to this playbook, that's exactly where the next big opportunity, the next source of real alpha, is just waiting to be unlocked.